But here comes HAAGTV into Canada corner for the final time. Just 2 corners left to go before he finally makes himself a triumphant return back to victory lane. He has led 38 laps of this event here today, and HAAGTV once again is a winner. HAAGTV will work himself through the curve of Parabolica. He will claim his 46th victory in iRacing.com World Championship competition. HAAGTV for the 2nd race in a row reigns supreme.
The one thing that I think is the most important is we've been racing this Ground Championship Series for quite some time now, a very long time even at that, and he is the only driver to have ever won a professional road race at Watkins Glen.
But there is nothing that could crack that finish #1 of the World Championship Series, 49th win of his career. If you're the world's greatest racing driver, you can do it with your statements on the road courses. Do it when it matters. Out of the final corner for the final time, number 50 for HAAGTV out of the final corner. At the top of the broadcast, we said if HAAGTV could win here today, he could well cement himself as the championship favourite. HAAGTV, the #1 machine, back to victory lane, win number 51. HAAGTV is inching closer rapidly to his 5th, and yes, I say that set of tails. Correctly, his 5th World Championship out of the bus stop chicane. Comes the #1 Team Redline driver. HAAGTV will win here at Circuit Spa-Francorchamps. Yes, you may be behind a computer with a steering wheel and a set of tails. Redline driver HAAGTV works himself out the final corner, and just as he did in 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, in 2015, HAAGTV once again
outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to HAAGTV Holiday Night on LSRTV, live for the first time from the Southern National Motorsports Park. It is the Upstate Racing League Les Enterprises MP Roy Incorporated Pro Late Model Series tonight on LSRTV and iRacing Live, and we're happy to have you along for the ride for Round 7, the HAAGTV 100. Evan Pizzoco, Cisco Scaramuza as well, along with you as always on Thursday nights. And tonight, we go to a brand new racetrack, Cisco. I haven't even been able to turn any laps at this track yet. These guys already have this track implemented onto their schedule. It's been out for just a little bit over a week now, and based on the reviews that everybody's been saying, everybody pretty much loves this place. So based on that, tonight should be a very good race.
Yeah, this is such an awesome track to be added to the service. You know, people come and say, oh, it's just another short track. But it's 0.4 of a mile, but it feels sort of like a wider Bristol, which if you've ever driven Bristol in the sim, you know that's a saving grace right there. But it's a really interesting track. It's got a lot of banking for as short as it is, so it's sort of like a linear, but with banking, which makes it really interesting. And, you know, we already had the B main tonight. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but already these guys have done some racing on this track, and it looks like it's going to be an exciting race tonight.
And let's talk about what tonight means for being round 7 of 12 in this 2015-2016 championship with the Upstate Racing League. Let's flip back to 1 week ago in round number 6, and it was Tony Manji who took home the checkered flag at USA along with Brandon Otto in second, Nicholas Rasmussen, Stefan Baranek, and Dale O'Neill, your top 5 finishers. Joshua Cotton, Denny Dubuque, John Ada, Brandon Wilkinson, and Mike Holtzclaw were the top 10 finishers there. Last week's rookie of the race went to Baranek. Last week's wrecker-up was Eric Haag, and the Mach 2 hard charger was Justin McDuff. What all that means, though, is the championship standings still have Nicholas Rasmussen out in front. Extremely impressive, Cisco. And I know we talked about this a lot last week at USA. He's out in front of Justin Fuller, who falls out of the race lead now down to second in the championship, just 3 points back. We can talk championship all we want. In reality, though, we have to talk about the chase. This is a short track racing league with a chase. It's very unique. After the first 9 races, the final 3 going to be cut down to a chase for the top 14 drivers. So 14th right now, Brian Rogers Jr. with 162 points. 15th, Justin McDuff with 161. That's really the more important conversation as opposed to the guys way up there ranking on wins. It's good to win races in the regular season, don't get me wrong, but really, you're going to reset in 2 races after tonight, so all eyes should be down at that cut line. There's a lot of good young talent down there, as well as a couple of seasoned veterans like an Al Smith Jr. in 16th that need to be discussed.
Yeah, absolutely, you know, and talking about these short tracks, you know, we're kind of looking at the races to come here after we hit Southern National. We go to Lanier on January 7th, and then January 14th we go to Stafford, and then that's the end of the regular season right there, and then bam, top 14 drivers are in the chase. So, you know, we talk about, you know, Lanier and Stafford very different tracks as far as that goes. So it'll be interesting here to see, you know, will this track and the banking cater to, you know, a particular driver? Will, you know, linear and how flat it is cater to a different driver, etc., etc. So, you know, 3 different races, but 3 different chances, you know, get those points and get into that top 14.
Yeah, January the 7th, we got 2 weeks off. That's why tonight is HAAGTV holiday night. And when the chase starts, the race is going to go up from 100 laps, which is the same thing tonight, 100 laps start to finish. We'll see the first 2 chase races at about 150. The season finale in New Smyrna Beach going to be at 200 laps. So the races get longer as well. These guys dig and try to get everything they can out of these cars in the warm-up session. And with tonight being HAAGTV holiday night, you'll notice a couple of cars out there with some festive holiday paint schemes. There is still time, if you didn't see the posts on social media, to go to upstateracingleague.com right now, scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, and vote for your favorite holiday paint scheme. You could vote for the number 18 of AJ Hamill, the 20 of Al Smith Jr., 24 of Brandon Odo, the 61 of Dan Dubuque, the 151 of Rodney Hack, the 81 of Joshua Cotton, or the 98 of Eric Haag. So that's at the homepage, upstateracingleague.com. You could vote for your favorite HAAGTV holiday paint scheme to lap 75 in tonight's race. That will be closed, and it will have a best in show winner at the end of the night. All of that being said, I mentioned a little bit of young talent being down at around that cut line. Well, Bruce Hilton is your rookie championship leader at this moment, in front of Rodney Hack, Justin McDuff, Jay Dubuque, and Mike Holtzclaw through the top 5. Not surprising, maybe, that those top 5 drivers in the rookie standings are all guys that are sitting top 20 in the points. Impressive, considering, you know, on a short track, normally the veterans will get an upper hand because sometimes it gets physical out here with these guys, but so far the rookies haven't been backing down, and that's one thing that I've loved so far about this series.
Absolutely, and talking about one guy who's not in that top 5 is Stefan Marinak, but that's of course because he missed the first race at Iowa, so he's way down in those Rookie of the Year standings, 23 back of the leader. But I mean, looking at his points from there on, he has pretty much the best points out of everyone else for those other 5 races. So missing that first race really hurt him.
And as the warm-up session begins to draw to a close, we're just about set to go A-Main racing tonight at Southern National Motorsports Park. With that, we go trackside for tonight's opening ceremonies, down to Jaden Berkey for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
A big thanks to the virtual Thunderbirds and well to Jaden Berkey for tonight's performance of the national anthem. With that, the warm-up session has come to a close and we're set to go racing. The B-Main is already behind us. Rodney Hack won the B-Main just a little bit earlier on in the evening to qualify through to the A-Main. The 2 drivers that did not qualify for the feature were Mason and Holtzclaw, so they'll be scored in 23rd and 24th position, and that's the points that they will receive for tonight, but you won't see them on the track. of the drivers selected through 1 and 22. So with 22 qualifiers on the board, let's take a look trackside and take a look at your NHR Pole Award winner, Justin Fuller. The A-Design Wraps machine will roll with a 14.430 to lead us under the way tonight. And for the rest of the HAAGTV starting lineup, to Nicholas Rasmussen, championship leader, starting in second tonight. Joshua Cotton, third. Brandon Wilkinson, fourth. And TJ Graves in fifth.
Dale O'Neill's going to roll off 6th in that 54 machine. CJ Lavera will roll off 7th. 8th will go to Bruce Hilton in the 52. 9th will go to Al Smith Jr. in the 20. And round out your top 10 is Cale Frenier in the number 4.
Justin McDuff's number 91 back at 11th, 12th position to Brandon Otto. Philip Thompson 13th, 14th. The E.J. O'Rourke and Eric Hagen 15th.
16th will go to Brian Rogers Jr., 17th to the 151 Toys for Tots machine of Rodney Hack. AJ Bunch, he'll start 18th. Mike Holtzclaw will start 19th. Danny Dubuque will start 20th. 21st goes to AJ Hamill, and Jay Dubuque will start 22nd.
The lights go off on top of the pace car. We're set to do battle 100 laps at this 4/10 mile speedway. 40 miles start to finish, 17 degrees of banking into quarter, and for the first time on LSRTV, going to take the green flag at Southern National Motorsports Park. We're glad to have you with us on LSRTV and iRacing Live into the restart zone and green flag in here. The HAAGTV 100 underway from Southern National, and no problem for Justin Fuller to take off topside. The 51 going to lead down to turn number 1. Battle behind him for second on back. Rasmussen topside trying to hold off the 81 of Cotton. He does so to 1.
And yeah, they're still battling right there behind him. That's TJ Graves on the inside in the 22. The 54 of O'Neill has been kicked up to the outside. He's trying to make it work, but it looks like the inside line is where you want to be. Looks like they're basically single file behind him all the way back to about the 11th spot where you find EJ O'Rourke on the outside of that black and green number 91 of Justin McDuff. And it looks like a little contact. They're 3 wide right behind him. And 17 looks like he got a little messed up. That was Philip Thompson. He's able to get it back under control, but he'll lose a ton of spots.
He and the 12 got pinched into the fence. They both had a little bit of a bobble in the corner. It's a very wide racetrack, though, so they were able to kind of have an opportunity to step those cars up the hill, get it back under control, still power off the corner, not lose too much speed. It is going to hurt them, though, time-wise. Race leader pulled away Justin Fuller by half a second. Battle, though, is just outside the top 10. And no contact, the 12 up and over. Brian Rogers Jr., big problems down the back straightaway. Out of nowhere for that one in the battle for 13th position, just transitioning to try to take a look over at that one. The car that I was looking at was the 91 machine topside of Justin McDuff. We talked about how good all of these rookies have been. Well, McDuff, the 3rd highest scoring rookie in this 2015-2016 campaign, and you saw that happen down the back straightaway. Hard to tell if the 12 pinched the 91 or if the 91 came down a little bit, Cisco, but those two guys come together, and it sent that 12 machine of Rogers right up and over. He slid on his lid a couple hundred yards down to turn 3.
Yeah, it looked like Rogers there thought he was clear, or at least thought he was going to clear the 91 as they came out of 2, and he just paid for it right there and got up in the wall and slid on his lid for, like you said, a couple hundred feet. And that's not fun to do right there, is sliding on your lid. You have no control. You can't stop the car to tow it. You're basically a victim of everyone else on the track right there.
So with that, it is a slow start to tonight's race at the Southern National Motorsports Park, and we talk about being the first time we're covering a race here on LSRTV. This racetrack located in Lucaba, North Carolina. It's got a capacity crowd of 4,500 race fans can pack in here on any given weekend. Opened back in '93 and was formerly known as Southern National Raceway Park, but again, an asphalt surface, 0.4 of a mile, 17 degrees of banking, kind of similar to Five Flags in the fact that it feels like it's a lot steeper than the numbers actually show. The lights on the pace car have already gone off, so they're going to get down and out of the way. We'll see what Fuller does this time from the outside of the racetrack. Green flag flies, back underway from Southern National Motorsports Park. Fuller down to turn 1. He'll lead again, and once again, the battle's for second.
And right now that battle's between Nicholas Rasmussen and TJ Graves on that 22 machine. TJ was having a little bit of internet connection issues, and it looks like it's still continuing. He's blinking a little bit, but they're 3 wide back in the middle of the package. It looks like the 4 goes. It takes out the commitment cone. He's going to get up in the 20. They make it through there. I have no idea how they did that, but that cone went for a ride, and they're 3 wide right behind the 20, and that's AJ Bunch. EJ O'Rourke, and another car around. That's the 2. the 2, he's into the 18, and they save it too. So a lot of calamity there on that lap.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. The eye focus there was on that 14 machine. It was in the middle of the 3 wide. That is AJ Bunch topside. He's able to get down the line after losing the spot, so EJ O'Rourke ends up winning that battle. Look inside of the top 10, though. The 54 of Dale O'Neill stuck on the outside of the racetrack. You got the 24 of Brandon Oda, defending series champion, to the bottom, and then going to be challenging behind the 52 of Bruce Hilton. Not enough of gap, though, for that quick lane forward to duck down, so the 54 of O'Neill will cut off that charge from the inside, stops the bleeding back to P7. I mentioned Odo so far, one of the biggest movers tonight from 12th to 6th, halfway through the front.
Another guy up there is CJ Levere. He's doing a great job up there right now. Came from some, picked up 2. And it looks like, that chase for the lead starting to come up to Fuller now. Fuller, at least on the first 2 runs, was able to open up a bit of a gap, but now Rasmussen and TJ have both started to close that gap a little bit, and they're reeling them in, and it looks like Fuller may have realized that and is putting the pedal down right now, or trying, but right behind him, 24 of Brandon Odo and the 44 of CJ Levere. Odo gains another spot, so he is our big mover right now. He's flying.
Continuing to pedal through the field, he got around that 44 to P5. A little bit of a gap, though, before he may be able to get to Joshua Cotton in a battle that would be for P4. But in front of the field, Fuller got away by half a second on that first green flag stint there. Very short, but was able to pull a decent gap. Nicholas Rasmussen really hadn't fallen all that far off. Again, just 0.5 of a second. Keeping each other honest. In fact, the last 3 laps, Rasmussen has been faster than Justin Fuller in front of him, but not close enough yet in that Smith Media Production Chevrolet to make a move and challenge for position. So at the moment, they stay single file. Battle inside of the top 5, the 44, CJ Levere sideways, topside in turn number 3. The back end of that car just would not stay underneath him. Didn't break sideways, but I mean, there was no traction at the back end. He had a close call, and now probably the 4 car, Cale Frenier. Big slide at a 2, he saves it.
Yeah, remember, he took out the green cone at the end of pit road there, so he's already having a little trouble. Looks like caution's out, though. I'm seeing the 22 at TJ Graves. Looks like he got in the wall a little bit and spun it out. We'll take a look at the replay there, but big trouble for that double clutch machine.
And it's a slip and slide out there for a lot of these guys. The caution flag is out, and we take a look for the replay on that one, and that one may have been an incident in which there was a little bit of assistance involved amongst those 2 drivers. Down into the corner, and a little bit of a tap.
Yeah, maybe a little. Looks like Joshua Cotton got into that turn a little hot right there in that number 81 Camaro, and helped the 22 try and get into the corner. It didn't quite work out there.
These races, again, not all that long. We talk about short track features right on about par of 100 laps. The big difference is in the sim, you can't select to not count caution flag laps most of the time. If you're talking about a late model, super late feature, the yellows don't count, which makes the races seem a little bit longer. But even through that, 2 caution flags, we barely been off of the grid for 5 minutes. We're already 1/5 of the way through, working lap number 24 on back, and hearing possibly the connection problems we've been talking about a little bit tonight for TJ Graves are continuing for that number 22, which is unfortunate, Cisco, because he was confident coming into this race.
Yeah, I talked to him before the race. He said this track reminded him a lot of his local short track, Wall Stadium, and a lot of the banking similar to him. So he was looking forward to this, but looks like his quality, and yep, we're just receiving notice now that he's received a throughput to an unacceptable level, so he's going to be kicked out of the sim, and he'll have to rejoin, and he'll be several laps down when he finally rejoins.
And I'll use the analogy to the number 98 of Eric Haag, who's got the ugly Christmas sweater paint scheme on board, and it can apply to him as well. It's been an ugly Christmas sweater season for TJ Graves. Fast cars, still nothing to show for it. Already 7 races in, and because of that, not in a good spot into tonight to try to make the top 14 and qualify for the Upstate Chase for round number 10. Lights back off on top of the American Childhood Cancer Organization Ford Mustang GT pace car. This time Fuller wants the bottom.
And he's gonna try and maybe get a run on Rasmussen right now. The pace car gonna pull in, green flag back in the air. We're back under green here at Southern National. And looks like they're gonna try and go 3 wide. Odo took a look to the outside there. Not gonna happen though. Rasmussen gets a good jump right there. He's gonna hold on second. Odo got in the wall. Huge jump right there behind him. car in the inside fence. I believe that's LeVere. Caution is out. Big junk right there.
Big problems down the backstretch. The caution flag is out, and that was a big oh-no for Odo on the outside of turn number 2. We talked about guys getting loose earlier, and I think we mentioned a couple of guys inside of the top 10 battle, and I don't quite remember the number, Cisco, but it happened in turn 3. And I mentioned it's a wide track. There's plenty of room. Well, it thins up there at a 2. That 24 at a bobble, I mean, he absolutely pounded the wall. It slowed him down so much that it spun the 44 car out immediately. That was CJ LeVere. That wasn't even the bulk of the problems, though, because as more guys tried to get through, they all right to going down into turn 3, and I believe it was the 20 car that may be the trigger of the yellow. Al Smith Jr. was one of the guys that got turned around. Tough break for Al, needing a good run tonight, being 16th in the points, trying to make the top 14 cutoff for the chase. Being involved in that accident, not a step in the right direction.
Yeah, Al was kind of a victim right there. Really wasn't even supposed to be in that wreck. He was nowhere near it, but just, victim, and everyone got clogged up there. But what I'm looking at is, it looked like Odo almost just the wheel just didn't work there coming out of 2. It just, car went straight in the fence. He, tried to catch it and then just, I don't know what happened. He just went straight in the wall.
The question is, how much damage does that cause to the Odo machine? He's onto the pit lane, getting that iRacing Beams holiday paint scheme machine fixed up, but that Chevy Corvette does not look good. The wing on that car no longer quite looks like a wing on a Corvette, more like something that we would see on an F-16 or something from the Virtual Thunderbirds earlier tonight. So that car, not in good shape. And it's extremely difficult at short tracks to get severe damage fixed because these cautions have been maybe 2 minutes long at max. The light's probably going to go off this time. You sit down there, get more than 20 seconds of damage repaired, you're going down a lap. So we get the lights off, we're getting set to go back green, going to be delayed one additional way around as a couple of guys towards the back got to get grouped up. But as Odo sits down there trying to get that car fixed up, he's already 3 laps down, so basically his night is done.
Yeah, I mean, these caution laps where, you're used to about maybe a minute on a short track and 2 minutes on an intermediate, but here 30 seconds, that's a caution lap. That's not a lot of time to get that damage fixed, and he's still sitting down on pit road. That might be meatball for the 24. If it blew his motor, then he's got to sit down there, and that's half an hour right there they're going to spend putting in that car. I don't know how long this race is. Yeah, that's longer than the race. I don't think he'll get back in.
Another strategy card to note is that these drivers have 4 additional Hoosier Racing tires down in the pit box. That is it. They can come down, take 4 tires. They can take 2 swings of 2-tire service. Nobody up front, though, doing that to this point. Pace car down, Fuller bottom side again. Green flag in the air. He's back out in front. Rasmussen, a good jump, though, from P2 to get 3rd. Dale O'Neill going to come off a 2 in 3rd. And Kel Frenier was P4. Falling backwards now as Hilton challenges to the bottom. And at CFK Construction, Chevy way up top side. We're 3 wide. Contact with O'Rourke in the 14. A bunch. There goes the 4 car and 1. No, they hang on.
Yeah, great save there by Frenier. Even kept it off the wall amazingly there. Is able to hold on to it. He'll lose some spots right there. It looked like EJ was going to get sent in the inside wall. He saved it, so he's going. Looks like, once again, TJ Graves receives a throughput, so he's not having a good night with internet right now. But meanwhile, it looks like our leaders have kind of formed a single train all the way back to about P6. And we're finding EJ, he's back under attack right now from that number 14 of AJ Bunch, and behind them another big battle right there. Frenier, we find him back in 12th now after that incident. That's the 4 car right there, and he's kind of under attack from Wilkinson in the 56.
Battling going on all throughout the track. You see a lot of contact. So far, though, I mean, for the most part, we've seen quite a bit of rub and not as many yellows as you might expect for the way some of these cars look. It is a very wide track. It looks like a very big track, but it is not a very fast track. I mean, don't get me wrong, 105 miles an hour is pretty good into the corner, but it's substantially slower than what we see at some of these other short tracks. So it's a very slow speed. It helps these guys be able to get off the gas if they get squirrely, let that car just settle down, running out of kinetic energy, and then get it back going forward. That is, well, a factor that allows these guys to get a little bit more physical as the night goes on. Battle with the 41 of EJ O'Rourke. He's topside, and that GVerser.com machine going to get shuffled out of line and give another spot to Philip Thompson, 13th to 7th for the 17.
Yeah, Thompson's having a great night right now. You can't really tell by the nose of that car, but he's kind of flying through the field. He's picked up about 6 spots from his starting spot in 13th, so he's having a good night. Another man having a good night right now is that 98 of Eric Haag. He's all the way up. He's plus 10 right now. He came from 15th. He's running in the top 5 right now. Great night for Eric.
And just behind that, the 14 of AJ Bunch, the 8 is on Wrap Chevrolet, was initially not going to make the start tonight. Thought that he was not going to be able to make the grid. The delay played into his favor. He was able to jump on. Did not qualify, 18th to 6th. So that is a 12-position game for the driver of the number 14 machine. Doing good real now, just shy of a top 5 running spot. 2.7 seconds off, though. The battle for the race lead. If you're Nicholas Rasmussen, how patient are you? You're closing in on the halfway point. There's still plenty of time, but in reality, you don't want to keep giving Justin Fuller opportunities to pull a gap on restarts every single caution we see. So with that gap be now at maybe 3/4 of a car length, he's got to do something. Don't lose focus, though, because if you're too busy looking at the back of the 51, I wouldn't count Dale O'Neill out either. The 54 machine, veteran short track sim racer, closing in behind these guys in third. He could even put up a fight for second before Rasmussen could do anything.
And Rasmussen, remember, he's been like chief bridesmaids on a bunch of these races, coming in second, third, and just has been there, but just not been up at the top two. He's going to take a look at the bottom right there, but Rasmussen, he still doesn't have a win this season in the 51 of Fuller. He slips up now, and that's going to let Rasmussen dive to the bottom there. He's going to have the preferred line as they head into 3 contact. And there goes Zell. Fuller saves it, and Rasmussen takes the lead. Fuller will drop back to third after getting loose off of 4.
And Fuller was sideways, but again, the back end of the car, it's not snapping loose. It's just like they can't get back to the gas. It slowly skates out, and you gotta take the corner as wide as you can to hope that back end grips up just a little bit. Is a very tedious slot that these cars have been going into tonight. It does give Nicholas Rasmussen the lead, 1 lap shy of the halfway point. We talked about him leading in the championship, but a good point to mention, you mentioned him being really the signature bridesmaid. He has not finished outside of the top 10 in any but just 1 race so far. 6 starts, 5 top 10s, and 3 top 5s. But as you mentioned, becoming runner-up, missing a time. No trips to victory lane yet for that SMP Chevy. He looks to improve on that, but the challenge coming from behind. Dale O'Neill has since gotten around Fuller after Fuller had that bobble in the 54 machine. Not all that far off either. 0.4 of a second between P1 and P2.
And you got to think, O'Neill's another guy who hasn't gotten a win this season, and he's sitting in about 5th spot in the points right now, so a win would definitely help him and maybe make him feel a little bit better. You know, he's in 5th right now, but if he did get a win, I'm pretty sure if I was in that position, I'd be pretty happy for the last 2 races, thinking, you know, I'm probably in with a good shout here at the chase now.
You want wins, but again, the bigger focus after tonight's round 7 through 8 through 9, the top 14 in the points. Going to get that ticket to the Upstate Racing Chase for a championship. We're past halfway at Southern National Motorsports Park with the Upstate Racing League on LSRTV. We'll step away for just a brief moment, and we go LSRTV nonstop, so you don't miss a moment of the action on track. Rasmussen in front of the HAAGTV 100, part of LSRTV's coverage of the Upstate Racing League on iRacing Live.
Trucking has always been a part of me. It started years ago when my dad and granddad were hauling vegetables to market in Liverpool. The family immigrated to Canada in the late 60s and settled near Alliston, Ontario. I bought my first truck in 1982 and Mercer Trucking was born. Today, Mercer Trucking has over 50 trucks in terminals in Toronto and Los Angeles. Our storage facilities at both terminals can handle any size of distribution needs throughout North America. We service the continental U.S., including Hawaii and Alaska. We run over 120,000 miles per month and some of the best equipment on the road today. We specialize in less than truckload shipments, show freight, we do rush team service deliveries, and haul your refrigerated or heated product. Our regular team service from Canada to California is second to none, and our staff and drivers are among the best in the business. I'm proud of our people and what they can achieve. Trucking is in my blood, it's my livelihood, and it's what I do best.
Once its sights are set, nothing can stop the ferocious lion from capturing its prey. Relying on keen senses, lions search patiently before striking with alarming speed. Wait for it. Gotcha, Mr. Piece of Rubbish. He is truly the master of his environment. Do good, be a lion.
We're back live at Southern National Motorsports Park. It is still Nicholas Rasmussen, your Upstate Racing League points leader, in front of the field at lap number 67, looking for his first trip to victory lane at a 2015-2016 Upstate Racing League Les Enterprises MP Roy Incorporated Pro Late Model Series, just shy of the three-quarter distance mark in the HAAGTV 100, part of LSRTV's HAAGTV Holiday Night for short track sim racing tonight. A couple of festive paints out there. Rasmussen, though, going to have a little bit of fun these next few laps. It starts with the 91 Cisco lap traffic.
I wouldn't call it fun, Evan. I mean, you know, he's having to avoid a bunch of people here. We're seeing some really messed up cars out there. A lot of damage on some of these Monte Carlos out here. So I don't know if I'd call it fun. It might be fun for you, but for me it'd be kind of a little bit risky right now.
And he can't really tiptoe through the lap traffic either, because the 54 Bishop Dale O'Neill challenging for second right behind. The caution flag does fly, though, at lap 70, and it may be for TJ Graves. I see he's parked on the inside of the racetrack in turn number 2. It will be a caution flag for the double clutch entry of Graves, who looked like he had a connection problem and may have phased into the 81 car of Joshua Cotton, who is P8. Good news is I don't think Cotton's Toys for Tots machine got any damage. Graves did go around. The caution flag is out. And again, you got to feel for TJ, though. 27 laps down. You take a second look at this one, and he's had connection issues all night long. He was involved in an accident, and he thought that he could win this race, basically summarizing his entire season. Just another night that he's going to have to look past.
Yeah, but right now we're seeing cars hit pit road, Evan, and a little bit of strategy being played by some of our leaders. Here's Fuller. He's in right now. But looks like Bunch, I don't know, looks like he missed his pit stall or something right there, so he's going to roll through, and he might be in the other pit road. That is one of the interesting things here. We do have 2 sides of pit road, sort of like Bristol here, but we mentioned it, not a whole lot of time, and here comes the pace car down 4. Fuller's still trying to get those 4 tires. Is he going to make it? No!
Oh, he just got it. Wow. I mean, by a car length, Fuller's going to beat the pace car at a pit road. That is calling it close on the pit lane, and I'm sure he knew that he would make it. He may not have, but I'll give him credit. He might have been scared. We'll see. He'll be far back, though. Again, we did see a couple of guys pit, but not a lot of drivers came down to the pit lane. Rasmussen did not. You're talking about restarts inside of 25 laps to go. We know the tires will be good. Are they good enough? And can you get enough green flag laps? And you know, we always talk about cautions late kind of hurting guys that are trying to get up to the field, Cisco. To an extent, though, cautions help some of those guys. So you just need the right combo of green flag laps and caution flags to get the job done. They got fresh tires. We'll see what they can do with it. My bet's still with Rasmussen up top, though.
Yeah, and just a couple drivers to note that have pulled it behind the wall. Brandon Odo, damage was a little too much for him, so he's pulled it behind the wall as well. TJ Graves has also left the track, and before he did voice his displeasure with Joshua Cotton. I believe Cotton was the driver he got into it with on that first caution he was in, as we get the delayed green here, so we'll have one more lap to do it, but just frustration for the 22, and you know, you got to feel for him. Just the season he's had what I like to call Brian Terry luck. If you don't have good luck, you don't have bad luck, you just have no luck.
The ugly Christmas sweater season continues. Restart was scheduled for that time by got delayed to one additional lap to allow a couple of guys at the back of the pack to get ordered up. So as we get set to go back at it, we'll go down to 23 laps to go in round 7. 14 drivers were on the lead lap before the yellow. Now we're back down to 12, all the way through Rasmussen up top and McDuff in 12th. The pace car makes the sharp left-hand turn, down and away, green flag drops immediately through turn 4, back underway, in contact back for 3rd and 4th. The battle in 1 and 2, Rasmussen leads them off.
And meanwhile, we're seeing the 65 of Dubuque, and we got contact right there. The 44 got spun around. Caution's going to come out. That's LeVere right there. It looks like maybe a little argument over space there. The 4 of Frenier came off the corner, and the 44 of Lever was coming down off the top of the groove there, and I think just ran out of time right there, and both drivers probably didn't think the other was going to be there, and just calamity right there for the 44.
Yeah, you see the replay. CJ was topside. I think the 20 slid high, and it kind of messed that 44 up. And, you know, if you're the 4 car, the 44 just turned down on you because CJ checked up, kind of drifting down the hill, trying to recover that car. He drifts down into the line of Cale Frenier. Not much that the 4 could have done. The 4 does a good job, though, of not getting taken to the fence with CJ. It looks like it's just the number 44 Chevrolet that gets down into the inside fence. No apron on the back straightaway, so if somebody goes around, caution flag will be coming out. And now this will take us inside of the final 20 laps on this race, ever so much closer to getting towards the end of this one. The lap number cars, though, get to go up a little bit. Mike Holtzclaw gets the wave by. He'll rejoin the lead lap drivers.
And, you know, talking about the apron, Evan, you can sort of see it on the straightaways, but honestly, in those corners, it's really hard to tell, but there is a line there, and there is an apron in these corners, and that actually caught out, I believe, the 65 of J. Dubuque during the B main. He actually spun it down there and collected the leader during that race. But, you know, we talk about it a lot, places like Five Flags, and here, just kind of making sure you don't clip that apron. Here, it looks like you could barely see that line.
And we mentioned that at Five Flags, especially under the lights, because it's just so dark there. Here we got sunny skies, so it's okay, but your A-pillar as well is right there on that white line, and there's got dynamic rubber being laid down on that. And when you're battling side by side with somebody, it's very easy to nip that apron and have some problems. So far, though, I think most of our leaders and most of the drivers in this A-main have been able to get through there rather clean. And most of the contact has been coming from guys going 2 and 3 wide. We told you it's a wide racetrack. These guys so far use it every single inch of it. Could it be for the final time? The pace car going to go down and away. 17 laps to go for Nicholas Rasmussen. Bottom of the racetrack, American Ethanol. Green flag flies back underway in the HAAGTV 171 car to the race lead in turn number 1 and 2. Powering through on the bottom top side. Here comes the challenge. Dale O'Neill not giving up.
O'Neill's putting up one heck of a fight right there. It's the 81 of Cotton. He gets in really hot in the 3. He's going to get bounced up the track there. 3 wide back there. Right now it looks like Ford got into him there. And we got the 151 of Hack. He's all over the place. So looks like people have started to throw the old clock out the window. It's time to go. It looks like the 81 of Cotton gets shoved up the track. He's up in the wall. Spud saves it, but he's got a lot of damage. He's going to fall right to the back of the pack.
And he was third on the restart, but I think he just got nicked by the 17 push it up, then bent the fence again in turn 3 the next time by. And just like that for Joshua Cotton, from 3rd back to 14th position on the track. More contact around the 20 of Al Smith Jr. He got sideways in 3 with a push from the 151 of Rodney Hackett. Now the 20 car shuffled up top side of the line. O'Rourke to the bottom, the 44 to the bottom, and the 20 gets moved up again.
And Dale O'Neill looks like he's fading through a bunch of cars. He's having a little bit of internet. He's made it, looks like up. He's still hanging tough in 2nd right now. But the man who took tires, Justin Fuller, in that 51, he's back up to 3rd right now, and he's flying.
O'Neill was 2nd on the restart, lost that spot to the 17 of Philip Thompson, fallen to 3rd, gonna lose it on the spot. Here comes Justin Fuller. Fresh tires. The gap, though, 1.2 seconds. I mentioned a combination of green flag laps and caution flag laps is what he needs. He could use one now. 3 wide out of 4. The 54 car is sideways. Eric Haag ducks at the bottom. The 52 of Hilton top side. Now the 14 of Bunch to the bottom of the racetrack as that 54 of O'Neill struggling to find any grip.
And meanwhile, Fuller is just putting him up, is just flying past all these guys right now. Those tires really seeming to pay off for the 51. And you know what, Evan? This is the first time I think this season we've really seen these new tires being able to get through the field so fast.
A lot of the time, but guys up front elect to not take tires because it puts them back in the pack and it puts them into kind of the fray and the melee here. But this is a rather wide racetrack, and Justin Fuller working it. Picked up 0.2 of a second the last time by. This time, race leader Rasmussen with a 15.126, a 15.040 for Fuller. Justin Fuller at 7 laps to go. He might get there. Do we see a bump and run for the race win at Southern National Motorsports Park? The gap between 1 and 2 closes.
This is going to be close right now. As meanwhile, we have a battle side by side for that 4th spot. Eric Haag is hanging tough on that outside. He gets into the
contact!
52
He's in the
contact. He gets cuffed up.
goes
He's going to
around.
get flip, saves it. Caution is out.
And I think we may have just enough time for one final restart. Eric Haag almost blew over at 70 miles an hour down the back straightaway. So many times contact like that. I hate that again because we talk about the two guys that have had just terrible luck, Graves and Haag, and Haag was doing good, top 5 spot in P4. He gets turned. I can't really blame the 52, though. I think Hilton may have had a little bit of a tap from behind. They get together, though. Haag goes around, nearly spins it over. He does stay on all 4 tires, so he'll still be able to compete for a spot here late. But the 98 machine obviously disappointed in this HAAGTV 100. It's HAAGTV holiday night. He's got HAAGTV on board his machine. Wanted a good night, was at a good spot. He'll have to wait till the next week, though. He can salvage still, but a caution flag comes out. And now, Rasmussen and Fuller going to be side by side for possibly a green-white checker. One final shootout to the finish.
I don't know, Evan. It would have... I think Fuller would have caught him under green. So I want to say this is good for Rasmussen here because he's going to have the bottom on the restart and, you know, a shortened out flap time. But do you think Fuller will be able to get it done on that outside?
Well, if Fuller got to him under green, he would have moved him out of the way very quickly. But it would have been methodical. You know, you could actually think through it and set him up. On the restart, you can't take time to set somebody up. Lights are still on the pace car at lap number 98, which means if they go off the next time by, it's a one-lap shootout. Rasmussen has not lost the race lead at a turn 2 on a restart tonight while leading. Justin Fuller has the fresher tires, though. We saw Dale O'Neill hold topside with that 71 on the last one. If he can stay side by side, they might be pinching each other in 3 and 4. We're going to find out. The verdict is lights on the pace car do go out. It'll be a one-lap shootout for the win.
And this has been a really short race looking at the lap time. It's only been a half hour. So these guys, they're really not...
Be a one-lap shootout for the first time ever at Southern National Motorsports Park. The pace car down. Rasmussen inside. It's Fuller topside. Green flag down the backstretch. Final time to turn 3. Rasmussen does it in. Side by side they touch. And at a turn number 4, Justin Fuller side by side at the line. Rasmussen held on though. 5/1000ths of a second as they wreck behind. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
What a finish.
Okay, if that wasn't...
I like this track.
If that wasn't Ricky Craven and Kurt Busch, I don't know what was. Right
and
there,
that's
that
exactly
was
what I thought.
incredible.
They'd be on each other's door in 3 and 4. Rasmussen knew that he was not going to get the run off of the corner, so what he needed was to get in there a little bit hot. He pushed up, got the 51 in the door, and Fuller was digging across the start-finish on, and I mean 5/1000ths of a second, and it didn't look like much more than that. What a photo finish for those guys.
Incredible finish, an incredible race for this track. I mean, for our first broadcasted race here at Southern National, this is an incredible last lap shootout here.
And we look forward to talking to those involved. It was side-by-side for third where the wreck broke out. The 17 of Philip Thompson takes the win over the 14 of A.J. Bunch for P3 and P4. But Nicholas Rasmussen finally breaks through, gets his first win on the 2015-2016 schedule, and with that does it in exciting fashion. The first ever race at Southern National Motorsports Park and LSRTV. It's a one-lap shootout, a 5/1000th of a second differential photo finish. An exciting one, to say the least. You're going to want to stick around because we'll talk to those involved and wrap up 2015 and look forward to what this season has to bring us in the new year. So in the meantime, we'll step away on LSRTV. Back in a moment on live from Southern National Motorsports Park. You're watching LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Monza is a very historic track. It's been around since the 20s, and it's gone through several permutations since then. We're also bringing forward a number of configurations. So there's chicanes that they've installed since the track's early days. So they can use original, very high-speed configurations of the track where the cars would just blow through where the chicanes are today, or they could use a more modern version. So it's a pretty cool, compelling track. The unique thing about Monza is it has a road course, but it also has a high-speed oval. And that high-speed oval can be run by itself. The Grand Prix course can be run by itself. And they also can be run together in a combined circuit, which is very unique and special in motorsports. This was one of the more challenging projects that we've undertaken. It was essentially building two tracks in one. It took a lot of time and a lot of care was put into it, but we're really happy about the end result and we think that people have a lot of fun driving it.
We're back live at the Southern National Motorsports Park for the Upstate Racing League, Les Enterprises, MP Roy Incorporated Pro Late Model Series. Happy to have you back with us post-race from the HAAGTV 100. And what a race. Do want to, again, give a big thanks to Les Enterprises, MP Roy Incorporated, a distributor and retailer of motorsports products, including electronic communications equipment, safety equipment, and race car bodies, for being the title sponsor on this series. Les Enterprises, MP Roy Inc., the place to find them on their website. And still trying to recover from what ended up being a Darlington finish here for the first race we've seen at this track, and it was exciting. One driver that had a good front row seat of what was going on in front of him, but still managed to power home for a third-place finish tonight, was the 17 of Philip Thompson. Caught up with him now down trackside. Philip, congratulations to you on the podium tonight for our first race at Southern National. That was fun. That one-lap shootout was definitely interesting. Fun for the race lead. You had quite the battle, though, there for third as well with you and Bunch.
Oh yeah, no doubt. They were definitely battling hard up front, and really I couldn't see a whole lot of it because I was having to deal with Bunch behind me, and he was on fresher tires. I thought he was going to get me there at the end, but I did all I could do to hold him off.
You guys wreck across the start-finish line. That's nostalgic short track stuff right there. It was nostalgic short track stuff in front of you, too. I'm impressed with this new track. It's been on the surface for just a little bit over a week and 2 days, maybe, at that. People have just been able to actually be on it for just about a week now. 13th to 3rd, you obviously like something about it. How's it for you?
Oh yeah, it's a great track. I love it. To be honest with you, I actually downloaded it like 30 minutes before qualifying. So yeah, so I'm still getting used to it. But I mean, I got a podium finish out of it, and it seems to be a fun track.
I would normally say that 100 laps is a good amount to practice, but I mean, this race went by quick, so a lot happened very quickly. But again, as you mentioned, 13th on the grid to 3rd. What was the key for keeping that 17 out there, keeping it clean to be there at the end?
Oh well, like you said, I had to dodge a couple little wrecks here and there. I actually surprised I did. That's what I've been this year. All the whole time I've been getting caught up in wrecks and stuff. So I just had to keep my nose clean. And then there at the end, I found myself in about 5th at a late caution, and a couple guys in front of me went to pit road, and I just kind of stuck with it, stayed out, and hoped for the best.
At a P3 for you guys, a fun result. The sponsors and shout-outs, Philip, I know you do a lot as well behind the scenes to help us out with some of the broadcast stuff here and through the league, so do want to thank you for that. Anybody that you want to thank that when we got you here down on the podium?
Well, first of all, I got to thank Al for putting this deal on. It's a whole lot of fun. I've run with him in the past. I haven't actually got to finish out a full season yet, so I'm hoping to do that this year. Also got to thank my title sponsor, Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, and then Hooker Harness. Just everybody that helps me out with my real racing as well. So,
thanks for sticking around and chatting with us on this one, Philip. Not bad for 30 minutes of practice there. P3 tonight at Southern National Motorsports Park here on the podium. Congratulations. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, my friend. We'll see you in 2016. We still got 5 races left to go before we wrap this one up. So plenty more opportunities for that 17 to have some good runs. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
So that is your third place finisher, the driver of the number 17, Philip Thompson. Now, in the other side-by-side, well, 5/1000ths behind for the driver that took the tires on the pit lane and charged back up there. I was skeptical that the tires would work. They did, just 5/1000 short at the end. Cisco Scarmoza down on the pit lane, caught up with your second place finisher tonight, Justin Fuller.
Yeah, absolutely caught up with Justin, and we were talking about on the broadcast. This was kind of the first time, Justin, where we've seen those tires really work out and people be able to get back to the front. Was that what you were feeling there?
Oh yeah, none of them guys were on newer tires. I was on the freshest tires out of anybody, pretty much, except for AJ. I got a speeding penalty on pit road, and it put me behind a bunch of lap cars, and ultimately, I think that's what cost us. Put me behind a lot of lap cars for that first restart on the new tires, and wasn't able to pass any lead lap cars to get a good restart position for the ensuing restart. But still, at the end of the day, P2 is pretty good points.
Talk us through that last lap shootout, because we saw you go to the outside. You had a good run going into 2, and then Rasmussen had to drive it in hard into 3. And just talk us through that last lap. How was it for you?
Oh, we had a great restart. Got through 1 and 2 really good. Got a little loose off turn 2. I almost cleared him, and I knew he was going to drive it in deep, so I gave him room, and he still slid up into me. I mean, I'm kind of glad I've had a couple minutes to calm down. I was pretty upset about it, but I'm really happy for him. He really deserved it. He's probably the most improved driver at the Upstate Racing League over time, and I'm happy to race him every week. He always races me clean, so a little door check, and I'm not going to let ruffle my feathers too much.
Well, you still finished P2, like you said. It's definitely a good points night for you. Who gets it done for you and your team?
I got to thank Ada Sign Wraps with John Ada, SD North Sticker Company, TimmyHill.com, EJ Brakes, LSRTV, Upstate Racing League, Al Smith, MP Roy Inc., and everybody that sponsors this, HAAGTV for sponsoring the race. You guys doing a good job in the booth. I hope you guys all have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Happy New Year, stay safe, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right, well, that's Justin Fuller, driver the number 51 A-Design Wraps Camry. He finishes P2 tonight, and I believe Evan has caught up with our winner, a very happy Nicholas Rasmussen, down in Victory Lane.
We've talked to him a couple of times on the season, but this time it is from Victory Lane. Your winner in the HAAGTV 100, driving the number 71, Nicholas Rasmussen takes home the checkered flag at Southern National Motorsports Park. Nicholas, congratulations to you. One-lap shootout, though. We were talking green-white checker and talking strategy and talking tires with Fuller coming down. You sticking on those same sets all the way through this one. I mean, it came down to just about as close as it could get. Walk us through that final 0.4 of a mile from behind the wheel.
I mean, wow, what a race. This is truly a great way to win a first race. So this is a very special moment for me, honestly. On the last lap, I should rather say when the caution came out, I thought, oh no, because we're going to have a one-lap shootout. And I knew that Fuller had pitted. So at the end, I just knew I had to give it everything, and on the final turn into turn 3, I was very late on the brakes, got early on the gas, and actually slid up and got a little bit loose, and then it was just full throttle to the end. And luckily for me, I got out ahead, so that's a very special moment for me.
You were on the right side of that 5/1000th of a second differential all night, though. That number 71 machine looked quick out front. You had a couple of guys challenge you. Obviously, Justin Fuller was up there early. He started on pole position. A couple of problems late in this one for Dale O'Neill, but he was there as well. This is a new track, but I really haven't heard a lot of guys not like it. We'll go to tracks and there'll be a couple of guys and, they'll say that it's not really my favorite track. And some of it might be the hype that it's new to the sim, but pretty much everybody likes driving here. I would assume you do because you had a very good car tonight. What did you like about this track? What allowed you to be successful here?
First of all, I'm sorry that Dale lost connection. I was looking forward to having a good race with him. And this track here is among the best short track I've ever been on. It's just so much fun to race, especially because of this banking. You can really drive the car well into a turn to exit out fast, and that's what makes it fun. And then obviously when there's a group laydown, you can have some two wide racing. So that's nothing not to like about this track. And it only makes it even more special to take your first victory at the track. So it's, as I said before, it's a very, very cool moment, and I'm honestly a bit stunned. But here we go. We finally did it.
It's been a long time coming, and the good news is I don't have to ask you like I always do when somebody gets a win when you win next, because you kind of get to enjoy this one for a little bit because we got 2 off weeks, so you don't have to go right back at it next Thursday night. We're going to have a off week for Christmas break, an off week for the New Year's, and then we go back at it in 2016, 2 races before the chase starts. You're looking pretty good chase-wise. I would assume going up to that point then when we make that cutoff after round number 9, going to those final 10 races, or rather at round 10, but the final 3 races in range for the championship, I would assume that the goal for you guys is to just keep doing what you've been doing, because so far that has been working really good for you guys, and we still have Lanier and Stafford to go before the chase starts.
Oh yeah, definitely. The way that we approach all the races is pretty much the same. It works for us because we put a lot of focus into different things that makes a race easier for us, and we do that very early. But yeah, of course, we're just going to go full throttle. The interesting part is definitely going to be when we come to the chase. I mean, we're going to have longer races and still only have these 4 tires here, so that's definitely going to be a challenge, but also a very interesting aspect. So I'm definitely looking forward to those longer races, and also until the chase, and we're just going to go ahead as we have had all season long and do our best and hopefully get more wins. That'll be nice.
It's been the right strategy call to play so far this season, and it took to round 7, and it's had some pretty impressive numbers until then, Nicholas, but you got the W in the 2015-2016 Les Enterprises MP Roy Incorporated Pro Late Model Series. So while we got you here on the broadcast at Victory Lane, any other sponsors or shout-outs you want to throw out there while we got you?
Actually, I think this time I'll take a moment to say thank you to the whole Upstate Racing League, to everybody racing here. As you may know, I'm not from the United States of America, and I've been taking, everybody has given me a warm welcome, and I've really enjoyed racing here. It's a very special thing to be able to compete here. So again, a thank you to everybody in the league. Thank you to Al Smith Jr. for making this happen. Then I gotta, of course, give a big shout out to my sponsors, Smith Media Productions, Finn Olsen VVS, Eglon Designs, Rapido Travel, MP Roy, the series sponsor. And once again, a thank you to you guys in the booth. This is certainly a broadcast that I'm looking forward to watch.
It had us out of our seats, to say the least, at the end. So not only was it an exciting finish there, you guys duking it at the end, Nicholas, but exciting to see you get that win. Congratulations again to you. Enjoy the holidays, and we'll see you in 2016.
Definitely will. Thank you very much.
The driver of the number 71 machine, Nicholas Rasmussen, out of Scandinavia. Your winner tonight at the Southern National Motorsports Park. And we said it was the first Upstate race at Southern National Cisco. Your argument is that it was really the first race at Darlington.
Well, that's kind of what it felt like for me. I mean, it was my first race. You know, we had that amazing finish in the Outlaw Truck Series in RSR earlier a couple of weeks ago, and then we had this. So it just seems like, you know, we've been having a lot of these great finishes right here on LSRTV, and just a great and awesome new track to add to the service. And if you do get a chance, take a pit lane cam, go fly around the track, and go check out the playground, because you never know who's at the track. But let's take a look at our final finishing order, Evan.
Rasmussen tops the pile. Behind him, Fuller and Thompson. We talked to your podium finishers tonight. Fourth to A.J. Bunch and Bruce Hilton coming home top 5. Rodney Hack, Brandon Wilkinson, Dale O'Neill, Al Smith Jr. Good recovery for the 20 Machine as he tries to make the top 14 in points. And rounding out your top 10 tonight, the 2 of Mike Holtzclaw.
Justin McDuff's going to finish 11th. Joshua Cotton finishes 12th. Eric Haag, after a tough night, he'll still finish 13th. 14th will go to CJ LeVere. EJ O'Rourke was your last car, your first car, 1 lap down. He finished 15th. 16th goes to Danny Dubuque. 17th to Cale Frenier. 18th to AJ Hamill. Jay Dubuque finishes 19th. He was the last car, 1 lap down. And then the last 3 cars who did not finish the race were TJ Graves in 20th, Brandon Odo in 21st, and Brian Rogers Jr. in 22nd.
22 drivers competing officially. You'll find 24 on the official results. The 2 drivers that did not qualify out of the B main going to be given points for 23rd and 24th on the night for not making the feature. But all the talk is going to be about that finish. A spectacular one it was, nonetheless. I agree with you. We've had quite a good amount of finishes here in the last couple of weeks, and we look forward to that continuing on. Believe it or not, though, things are going to slow down for a little bit here on LSRTV with the Christmas break and a New Year's break coming up just a little bit. There's still plenty of sim racing action to come. I encourage you to visit livesimracing.com, as well. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/livesimracingtv. All the info is going to be there. Tuesday night's pro action. Monday night, you got RSR B cars. Wednesday, RSR trucks. So many more things. Tomorrow night, even coming up, we got the iSuperspeedway.com Racing Series into the round of 6 in the iSuper Chase. There's plenty of stuff to find on your home for sim racing, and LSR TV is the place to be. So until the next time we meet for Upstate Racing Action, and that means until 2016, that does it. On behalf of us here tonight at the Southern National Motorsports Park, a big thank you to everybody for tuning in on behalf of everybody at LSR TV, and for the team tonight, myself, Evan Pizzoco, for Cisco Scaramuza and Laura Lawson. Congratulations to Nicholas Rasmussen, winner on the season in the Upstate Racing League Pro Late Model Series. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you next time on Thursday night in 2016.